It's Josdak. I'm currently packing for my trip to New York that is literally alarmingly close. It's on Friday and it's Monday. But tomorrow I'm gonna be out all day. Wednesday, I don't even know what's happening Wednesday. Thursday, I have plans. It's just I feel like I have no downtime, which is sad because I wanted to have this whole week of just chill downtime before I go on a trip, because the week after I get back from the trip I'm gonna be working that whole week at like all day at an art camp, so that's exciting. So I'm currently packing for that trip right now because I like to get the clothes that I'm going to use on the trip out of the way so I don't use them during the week and they can stay fresh and clean and I just have peace of mind. On top of that, I'm gonna be going at like 5 a.m. I'm waking up tomorrow at like 5 a.m. to go to Orlando with my sister and her husband and their child to he has a court date, and we're driving up there, and I love Orlando. I can't wait to like spend the day there. I do have some meetings in the morning, but as long as I have Wi-Fi, I should be fine to take the meetings. Hopefully they go well because the first one is for a reading tutor job and I really want it. Hopefully I get it because I want to do something different next year. Paraprofessionalism was fun and I'm okay with continuing doing it, but I just think this might be the next step up for me. So God, please, I really want the job. What else? I seem to always look worse every time and this is the problem because I'm currently wearing a top that I never wear and a top that I just bought because this is what happens when I pack. I try on my clothes and I'm like, wow, everything I own is just not appropriate. There are some clothes that I have that are like, I assume it's hot in New York right now. It most definitely is. I feel like the clothes that I have, because I don't really like wearing shorts or anything in like the city or period. I feel like those clothes are more like summery, like, I mean, it's summer, but like they're not for the city. They're for like beach, Florida vibes, and this is just not it. So I feel like a lot of the clothes that I have are very fall, very just not summery at all. Like not at all, but like there's certain clothes I just love, like a cardigan with a tank top and flowy pants. And they look thick, but they're not. They're very light and they're all natural material. So they're very light and they're very good for summer, but they definitely look like a fall outfit, which I'm very worried about because I don't want to be once dying of heat and two, looking like I didn't know how to dress for the summer. It's so intimidating going to New York every single time I go, and I was born there, but I have no like strong connection to New York. I mean, of course I was born there, that's a strong connection, but you know, I left when I was 3.5. I'm just not a New Yorker. I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not built for the streets. I just don't know, and everything scares me. I thank God my parents moved me to like, I don't know who I would be if I had stayed living in New York. I think about this all the time, like who would I be? Would I be more like, and maybe that's like a stereotype, but I really feel like I would be more confident, which is crazy because I travel the world on my own, but like I don't know, like I don't know how I would be. I just feel like a city girl version of me is just me, but like, same me, but she's a little bit more like trusting and more, not trusting, but like, I don't know. I just really enjoy the fact that I grew up with nature and I grew up with like rainbows and trees and like open air, and like had I grown up in Queens, I feel like it would have been just a different experience and I would have wanted everything to get away from the city. And I currently have no fever or no need to live in New York. So that's not a dream. So we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I feel like I'm not a city girl. I'm not a New York girl. I'm not a New York girl, but you know, it is my place of birth and it is a place that, you know, I want to get to know, and it is always fun when I go. So I'm excited to go back. I'm excited to see what I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna see my friend Hannah. It's only for the weekend, but hopefully it goes well. I want to bring her some gifts, so hopefully tomorrow I get some gifts. And she told me that she's excited for me to meet her friends, so I'm gonna try to get them gifts too. And they're all teachers, I believe, so hopefully teacher related gifts. Because I love bringing her gifts because she's a teacher and I love her so much. She's the sweetest person, and excited to see her. But yeah, hopefully she can navigate me around New York because, again, I'm not a New Yorker. I feel like people expect me to be, but I'm not. I was born there, but that was it. Yeah, it's very interesting. I always think about the fact that, like, there are a lot of people who were born in places and then they, like, immediately moved as a child and grew up somewhere else and then learned that place versus the place that they were, like, especially if you're ethnically connected. Like, for example, if you were born in one country that speaks English and your parents speak English, but then because they're like, they grew up there or whatever the heck, and then they decided to move with you, obviously, as a baby, and you moved to a different country that spoke, let's say you moved to the Philippines, and then you grew up speaking Tagalog, and then you spoke English with your parents, and you were born in the country that you were from, you were born in a country that speaks English, but your best language is like Tagalog. That's your confident language. And it's just the same as me as having been, well, I was born in the US, but I didn't leave it. It's kind of the opposite of my situation, actually. Yeah, because I learned my parents' language through them. They moved here versus the entire family having moved. This is kind of confusing, but like there are people, like imagine having one parent who grew up one place and speaks the language of that place, but then they moved and they're not ethnically connected to that place, and then you moved and then you learned a different language, but you have ethnic connections to a different place and your parent also speaks a different language. That's crazy. I love backstory like that. The lore is crazy. And there's a lot of like, and I love seeing that. I love learning about it. Like, for example, if there's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Russian in the Dominican Republic, that's fascinating. Like, and they probably have a stronger sense of Dominican culture than me. Does that make sense? Like, even though my dad is Dominican and I don't know if I look Dominican, but I look more Latino than the person who's Russian, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. But they speak the language better. They know the slang. They grew up there. They know the streets. They know the culture. You know what I mean? Like, that's their culture. Or, different situation, the parent is was the one that grew up with the culture. Maybe they lived there for a little while with the kid, and then they moved to the US. So not only are they not, and then the kid learns English. Not only are they not from the US, but they actually have strong origins in Dominican Republic, a Spanish-speaking country, and then they have ethnic origins to Russia. Like, this is just a scenario, but I think it's so fascinating that you can, like, have so much culture inside of you, you know? And I'm really grateful that my mom and my dad are from different countries. I used to think that was, like, a downfall, but, like, no, it's actually so cool. Even though they're both Spanish, they're different types of Spanish, and they're very different countries. Although I do feel Honduras has a long way to go in terms of like me ever wanting to visit it ever again. But yeah, I think it would have been really fascinating if my mom spoke something else and then my dad speaks Spanish, and then I grew up in the States, therefore I speak English, and then there's like this really interesting, like, you know? But yeah, your parents' story is very interesting to me. You know what I realized the other day? I realized that I'm really grateful that my parents never kind of made their issues me and my sister's issues, like our issues growing up. They never openly spoke to us about things that were bothering them. Because I know recently, like as an adult, and I'm, you know, talking to my dad more, and I'm like thinking about my childhood more, I think about that certain things happened and I didn't think much of them. I just focused kind of on me, what I had to do, school, whatever the heck. There were just things that were happening around me, but they must have really affected my dad or my parents. And I keep thinking about how my dad must have felt when certain things happened, like when he lost his job and he was searching for a new one. I thought about that really recently. I was like, yeah, he worked at a place for like 10 plus years and then he was let go, and then he had to search. I remember him on his computer searching for a job and never spoke to me about it. Never. That must have been scary, like to be unemployed and and my mom didn't work at the time. to be unemployed and have to provide for a family and just be like trying to get a job. I wonder how that felt, like, because I've never done that. I mean, I've looked for a job, trust me, but I never had other people to like provide for except for myself and maybe my dog. But that's so scary. And obviously you don't speak to those types of things to a kid, but I know that there are some parents out there who like burden their kids with like their own issues, even if it's like non-serious issues or like relationship issues, like the parents discuss it with their kids, or like, and maybe that's good in a way, like you're exposing your kids to certain things and they're like, I think it's fine to talk to your kids about certain things, but to make it the kid's problem is where you definitely have to make some sort of separation, because I never felt like my parents' problems were my problems necessarily. Sure, we were like maybe not, we were poor. Or at least I was made to feel we were poor. I didn't like spending my parents' money. I didn't like asking for things unless it was absolutely necessary. And even in that case, sometimes I just didn't say anything at all. Like I went without a cell phone my entire high school career. It wasn't until I was 18 I absolutely needed one because I got lost. We'll talk about that another day. The same thing with my computer. I told my parents, I had the old computer like passed down to me that had like the back, like the big computer, like those. And I told my parents not to switch it out because they were like, don't you want a new computer? Like you're in school, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I really like this one. And I said that purely out of not wanting to spend my parents' money. But I definitely need a new computer. And yeah, but I think about that, like sometimes parents put that burden on their kids, and my parents, I'm really happy that they never made their personal issues, me and my sister's issues. Like we never felt like we had to somehow protect our parents in that way. I felt like I needed to protect my parents from kind of like the English speaking world, like I felt like I didn't want to stress them out with phone calls from school or things like that, like nothing to worry about, like just don't even, like open house type things, like don't stress about those things. Besides that, I feel like my parents were very good at keeping their adult anxiety-filled lives away from us kids, which was great. I think that was a good choice. And I don't know if they did it out of like, hey, let's not burden the kids with this, or they did it because, hey, it's none of their business. What do they know? They're stupid little kids. You know, I have no idea which one it was, but either way, I feel like it might have been the best decision. Because now as an adult, I'm very... It's surprising me that it's taken this long for me to realize, oh, my parents have feelings. I mean, I've always known they had feelings, but like, whoa, my parents are real humans with their own inner worlds and inner lives, and I kind of want to understand them differently than just, yeah, that's my mom, that's my dad. And I want to know how those situations must have felt. And I feel like as Latinos or as like immigrants, you swipe those things under the rug so quick, you might not even remember how you felt, or you don't have time to feel anything. Like when my dad lost his job, or when my parents got into the accident, or whatever the heck happened in their lives. I think my parents, a lot of immigrant parents, are very good at compartmentalizing. So that's scary. Oh, I despise this outfit. I mean, I need to change. I was thinking about wearing this tomorrow. I don't even know. I think I might wear that, but I'll take a jacket just in case. I don't know. Hopefully I get to go to Miniso tomorrow. I want to go to Miniso. Is it Miniso or Miniso? Miniso, I think. Miniso. Hopefully we go there. I think that would be a good place to get gifts. I think that's everything I have for you today. I can't think of anything else. I have to finish packing. I have to take a shower. I have to like take the laundry out of the freaking dryer that's been sitting there for like a week. And brush my teeth. And go to bed. I don't want to. I'm probably gonna stay up listening to music. Okay, but bye. And this is my room, by the way. I never show it. This is my room. There's nothing really on the walls except for this My Neighbor Totoro poster that I really love. It's because I didn't really focus on this. I really focused on the living room. Like, let's not talk about it, but this is her. I think she's cute. She's a big queen bed. And I have like a singular desk. Yeah. To them, bye.